Hi, I'm Natasha and I'm a yoga teacher. I've been teaching Hatha yoga since 2006 and I teach on average 10 classes a week made up of one-to-one students and also classes. I teach a lot of people with bad backs and also a lot of runners, so they are my particular kind of passions really. And I really believe in how yoga can help you mentally as well as physically. So enjoy the videos. There are lots to choose from and hopefully you can kind of do a couple at a time. Thank you. This is a sequence that I tend to teach at the beginning of each Hatha yoga class that I teach, really just to kind of warm the body and calm the mind as well. So first of all, you're going to just begin in a comfortable seated position. And if you find that your knees are much higher than your hips, then it's really good form to just sit on a block like so. So one of these blocks is fantastic and kind of an inch or so thick. If you haven't got a block, then a folded blanket is absolutely fine instead. And just sit yourself kind of towards the front of the block and that will be much more comfortable. So we just begin in a kind of a comfortable Sukhasana, so kind of easy seated position, just cross-legged really. And you're trying to make sure that you're sitting on your seat bones, so we're not kind of rounding back and we're not sitting too far forward as well. So just nice and comfortable and maybe just taking a moment to lift the pelvic floor. The hands can just rest on the knees and then ideally just closing your eyes. So some people would rather just keep the gaze lowered instead. Again, that's absolutely fine. And just taking a moment to bring the awareness to the breath. So ideally in yoga, what we're trying to do is keep the mouth closed and we're just breathing in and out through the nose. And as you sit here, your breath will naturally slow down as you kind of allow yourself to relax. And then when you're ready, opening your eyes again, just keeping the gaze lowered for a few moments and rolling the shoulders. And again, just kind of warming up the body a little bit and go the other way as well. And again, just focusing on keeping that back nice and straight. If you do get tired in your back, if it gets a bit achy, you can also do these positions leaning against the wall. So again, it can make it a lot more comfortable if you need to. And then just kind of stretching across the top of the back and the shoulders. So just placing your hands onto your shoulders and ideally keeping your elbows lifted. And just thinking about your head. So sometimes we kind of tend to poke the head like so or drop it. And we're trying not to do that, trying to keep the head quite neutral. And if you imagine maybe a bad smell underneath your nose, so it's a kind of slight tuck in. And if you want to, you can kind of close your eyes and just feel the stretch. Conscious that we're not holding the breath. And then with exhalation, releasing and inhale and exhale and back into the other side. And again, just taking a moment, again, maybe just lifting the pelvic floor again, closing your eyes and just breathing through your nose. And then we're just releasing down. And then from here, we're going to just stretch out the triceps here. So we're breathing in, taking the right arm up and behind the head. And ideally, holding the elbow. Some people, if you're really tight in your shoulders, you might find you're kind of poking like so. So in which case, just turn and you can push instead. If you are flexible enough in your arms and kind of shoulders, if your arms are long enough, you can also hold the hand instead, like so. So that's kind of the full pose if you want to do that, but not essential at all. And again, once you're feeling comfortable, just hold in and just breathe in here. And releasing bottom arm and the top. And then the other side, so again, inhaling and lift. And behind, again, getting that nice and comfortable first, taking your option, so push, hold, or like so. Okay, linking behind. And just breathe. So again, mouth closed, if possible, breathing through your nose. And just be conscious if you're more flexible in your back, sometimes we start to stick the tummy forward. Okay, so just be aware of that, keeping a nice straight back and tummy in. And again, just releasing top and bottom. Okay, and again, if you want to just have a little roll here, then do. And then the final kind of shoulder stretch here is eagle arms. So it can be a little bit strong for people, so I'll show you the easier version if you need to. So ideally, right arm is in front, and you tuck in your left arm over the top, and then wrapping round like so. So ideally, again, the elbows are in line with the shoulders, so it's quite high, the hands are flat, the head is neutral. If it's quite a big stretch for you though, keep your elbows down lower. Okay, if that's still too much, then taking this easier version. So we have elbows, wrists and fingers just touching. And again, we're just in the stretch and holding the pose, not the breath. So make sure that you are still breathing. Again, ideally, mouth closed, breathing through your nose. It's just the most relaxing way to breathe. And again, with exhalation, unravel, and the other side. So left arm up, right arm over, round and lift. And again, just untangle and just roll in those shoulders. Okay, and then we're going to just gently kind of just stretch out the back and the hips. So we're going to come forward into seated forward bend. So in yoga, what we're trying to do is hinge from the hips, okay? So you'll see it a lot in the gym particularly, and people move from their waist. Okay, if you're moving from your waist, you're likely to hurt your back, and you're not really going to improve your flexibility either. So really think about the action from the hips. So I'll just show you kind of sideways what I mean. What we're trying to do is inhale, we lift, so we create space between the vertebrae of the spine, and exhale and forward like so. Okay, and hands shoulder width apart. What you often kind of do as we endeavour to go further forward is we hunch the shoulders and we round like this, okay, which is not really what we want to go. So really think about your form, nice straight back and forward. And then if you want to, as you exhale, just walking your hands a little further forward. Okay, focusing again on that breath and just thinking about moving with the exhalation. Okay, so that's the important thing. And as always with yoga, it's sensation, not pain. So you don't kind of want to force yourself so far forward that you injure yourself. A word of warning also, this forward bends can sometimes exacerbate a pre-existing back condition. Okay, so although in time you'll get stronger, if you start to feel it in your back, just stay up a little bit higher, okay? Also maybe think about lifting the pelvic floor and strengthening through your centre, okay? So just really aware of that. When you are comfortable though, we're going to walk the hands across the floor to the right side. So staying even through your hips, nice and low, and walking over to the right side. Just checking with the shoulders down and down. Again, just breathe in. And back into the centre. And the other side. And all the time, just trying to make sure you are breathing. Okay, so sometimes it's really natural, especially when we twist, hold the breath. Okay, and then back into the centre. And again, maybe when you do it the second time, you might go a bit further forward. But again, if you start feeling tugging in your back, then stay up higher. And then slowly walking your hands up. Super, and then we're going to just change the cross of the legs. So this is more uncomfortable for some people when we move into this position. It's really good to balance the body sometimes to kind of sit in our least dominant way. And this is just a really nice stretch for the top of the shoulders, top of the back, and down the spine as well. So you're going to just place your hands onto your knees, drop your chin down towards your chest so we have a lovely long spine, and we're just inhaling. And as we exhale, we're just rocking back. So you're just rocking back towards the kind of lower part of your back, keeping your chin in. And maybe here you're focusing on your tummy lifting as you breathe. And then we're going to release. I'm going to do that twice more. We like 3 in yoga. So again, we breathe in and we breathe out and back. chin down, focus on the breath. And up. And then third and final time, breathing in and out and back. So now your back and your shoulders, your spine and your hips are warmed up. You are ready to do one of the other sequences. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. There are quite a few to choose from, so it might be really nice to do a sequence of 3 or 4 each day if you possibly can.